my thumb out. I'm stepping through.
And drive, arch over and turn.
Kind of pummeled the arm through and ended up in this position.
And because they always gonna come up, I don't really have this type of some. Yeah.
Option 1, option 2, option 3.
He covers his partner's shoulder, right, by making this adjustment.
Do you train combat sports? How's your body holding up? Combat sports are the most physically demanding sports in the world. The weight cutting, the training schedules, there's no off season. Staying on top of your nutrition isn't optional, it's a necessity. Perfect Sports has a host of products that will help you a ton. They have products that promote muscle growth, give you energy, and boost your immune system, among many other benefits. Take your nutrition into your own hands so you can bring your best, most recovered self to train every day. Use code FIGHTERS15 for 15% off your Perfect Sports order.
One thing I like to do is I like to thread this leg. This gives me a little more control over his spin, right? Because if this leg is completely free, that's how he starts getting underneath. If I have this from here, I have a little bit more control over his spin. The other thing I do is I like to sit on the ground. It's awkward for him to get underneath me if I sit on the ground. And because they always gonna come up, not really. I have this type of some, yeah, okay. But this is kind of like my insurance policy right here, right? And the other thing I like to do is not only am I coming up, I like it because the biggest issue is this leg gets very sticky. This leg is like, it's like Velcro. Like I've been exactly that. That's the annoying part, is that people that play this game all, they're very strong in this position. When I say strong, I'm not just talking technically, I mean physically. They develop the muscles, the tightness necessary to make pretty proficient. So one thing I like to do is I like to go here. If I can peel that foot, which is what I'm trying by shrinking my right leg, I can kill it with my left foot. Okay? Now I'm not gonna lie, peeling that foot is not always there. Some clients there, sometimes it's not, but always aim for it. Because if I'm here, I'm pushing this leg through. And now I just choose reversal lever. That's good. Now why did I kill your reversal lever? So now typically, you want to be on the outside of this leg for your combat stance. But remember, the reversal lever developed as a response to the knee cut. So this is an awkward knee cut for me, right? But I don't have the problem with reversal lever, meaning I'm fighting it somewhere else. I'm able to double unders, I can switch sides. I can knee cut here. That's the other thing. People think they can't knee cut just because this leg is trapped or because it's on his own. They're bullshit. Look, I'll knee cut right here. The whole problem. Right? Instead of aiming for the underhook, you aim for the leg. I call it like a low underhook, right? Instead of armpit, leg. Very strong position if you want to be dominant guarded, by the way. Just stop this obsession with the underhook, aim for the leg. Alright? Yep. Hold on. He's here. Miss his arm. Pull back. I'll walk back. Here's the other thing. I can start kicking this leg too. Yeah, losing all my. Yeah, even if you're very tight, get tight on that leg. Alright? I can start kicking. It's very awkward for him to keep that tightness. And then I thread it.
Quickly, the duck I'm gonna go with is from an inside tie where my partner is grabbing my elbow. There's tons of different ways to do duck unders, right? But the biggest idea is that I have inside position, and at some point I get my partner's elbow away from his ribs, right? The big thing that people mess up is they don't get the elbows far enough away from the ribs, and they just kind of run their head into the stomach. One of my favorite ways to create that space is to use a head post, all right? So often when we're wrestling, you'll see me guys post on my partner's head. Now, they're not gonna grab my hand every time, but if I'm pulling, snapping, whatever, they're gonna start to grab my wrist, right? He's grabbing my wrist. Look at the space between his elbow and his rib already. It's there, the duck is there, right? So what I'll do is, sometimes I'll hit this initially, but I also might take my time, maybe I clear it off, and I see if he keeps grabbing. If he keeps grabbing, I'm noting that in my head, that's a read, right? So I'm going, he grabs, I clear it, I go, he grabs. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll my wrist back. My thumb is going out, right? And then I'm gonna step to the outside here. As I go, I'm gonna try to connect my chest to my partner's back, right? So as I go, I'm gonna connect my chest to my partner's back, right? So I'm rolling my thumb out. I'm stepping through. I'm coming down, and then I'm gonna try to run up and connect my chest to my partner's back. I come in, I go, and I get to the back.
My name is Brian Glick. I'm here with a Fighter's Advice exclusive. We're gonna talk about a technique that came out of a fight in 2009, Demian Maia versus Chael Sonnen in the UFC. It was a very exciting fight. Demian Maia had a beautiful kind of like Sasai lateral drop that landed him in a position that looked a lot like this. The mount with a trapped arm. Why? Because they started in an over-under tie position up against the cage and they landed here. And actually, you can see my knee is under the armpit. When Maia landed, it was a little higher. And so instead of working the arm free, Chael kind of pummeled the arm through and ended up in this position. Now, from a grappling perspective, this looks great. But we have an issue, which is that sometimes it's difficult to make a transition from here to a full triangle. Chael made it a little harder because as Demian Maia was working, he grabbed onto this wrist. Then he hit a bridge to knock him over. So now, a lot of times, if we're in this situation, there's gonna be a temptation as someone goes to knock you over to kind of release everything in post. And oftentimes that gives your partner enough time to pummel, create space, and all of these things. But Demian Maia just allowed this connection to stay, and as his opponent knocked him over, he took this opportunity, even though he didn't have a proactive wrist grip, he used a reactive wrist grip to split his partner's arms. From here, you can see it's much easier actually to hit the triangle because there's no weight on your legs. Now that we land here, his partner comes up, his opponent comes up, and now we've got this figure 4. If you were to try to kind of release everything and move the arm across the center line, it takes a lot, and you often don't have that much time. So instead of doing that, Demian Maia does something interesting. He covers his partner's shoulder, right, by making this adjustment. What's the adjustment? He kind of turns his legs so that Chael's shoulder disappears. In doing this, you end up really focusing on getting the deltoid up against the carotid. You can really compress everything, and this is actually where the finish happened. He kind of came back through, controlled the head, tilted down, and then at this point, it was all over.
What's up, guys? This is a video for Fighters Advice. There was a lot of question on our ninja choke video. So the questions were, how do you defend this? I'm going to show you. He was setting up the takedowns. He was getting lit up, and he was setting up poor takedowns, poor posture. So initially, he was coming in for single with the head outside. And he was getting almost finished or potentially finished with a guillotine. So he finally still had a bad posture. And he basically got caught, on his feet. So the first line of defense, guys, a lot of times, you know, when you're shooting in, if you have a good striker, that guy is going to make you do things you don't want to do. So you need to be you need to be disciplined about your shots, right? So if I'm coming in, we're exchanging, I need to make sure that I'm coming in and I want to have my head high. There is no ninja choke. Alberto is quite taller. Go ahead, try it.
No, I can't get still.
Yeah. He cannot get high enough, even though he's taller. So that's the first line of defense. The second line of defense is going to be painful for me. So Alberto, he locks it up because my head is low, and now we're going to go down. So it's on. So what Bryce tried to do is turn this one. So he has probably better neck than I do, so he probably held on a little bit longer. What he should have done is assume, by the way, guys, this is a late stage defense. It's like, how do you defend a fully locked in heel hook? How do you defend a fully locked in rear naked choke? It's going to be tough, and many times going to fail, but this is your best chance probably. So Silva was on his side, so what he needed to do is get him on his back and drive, arch over and turn. That would have been his best shot of escaping. I hope you like it. I'll see you next time.
Alright, so we're gonna be right here. I'm gonna use my left leg to open up my partner's leg. I'm gonna pull his hips on top. Okay, from here, I use my calf to bring my right foot all the way through. Okay, from here, easily, as we extend, start to put our hook in and take the back, okay? But that's boring, who wants to do that, right? Boring! We underhook deep on the leg, we just cross our ankles, and we can hit our banana split from here, okay? What's really effective is learning how to use your legs, okay? So I bring my left leg all the way over my partner's leg, and I hit an internal rotation all the way at the end of the lever here. Okay, I look to put my foot on the floor and I put my hand right here. A lot of times what's gonna happen here is my partner's gonna really try to straighten his leg like this, and that's all good. I can just continue to take his back, okay? But if I'm here like this, and I grab his leg all the way through, right? Because normal calf slicer, option 1, option 2, option 3, maybe he arm bars me. Just keep control of the hip. Bring your left leg all the way over, internal rotation. Heavy leg, toes, switch.